There's a variety of different sporting activities to be found on BBC1 this afternoon in Grandstand, including the beginning of the final in the World Professional Snooker Championship from Sheffield. But now on BBC1, Peter Cushing stars as Doctor Who in the feature film Daleks, Invasion Earth 2150 AD. There's a challenging adventure game for use with the BBC microcomputer called Doctor Who and the Warlord, with over 250 locations in each part, and a useful save and retrieve facility to enable you to save and load your last position, and the cassette costs £7.95. Our next feature film on BBC1 is the classic revenge western Last Train from Gun Hill, starring Kirk Douglas as the determined US Marshal Matt Morgan on the trail of two killers, one of whom turns out to be the son of an old friend who once saved the Marshal's life. That's this evening at 6:40. In 3 minutes, Des Lynam introduces Grandstand. First on BBC1, with an up-to-the-minute look at the weather, here's Ian McCaskill.
Hello, we're very nearly up to the minute. These are the actual temperatures just a few minutes ago now. You can see them there. These would be disappointing even on a chart for January. 2 Celsius, just 36 Fahrenheit. Down in London here, only just touching 9 Celsius, 48 degrees Fahrenheit at the moment. So if you decide to spend the afternoon checking the hall barometer, and who would blame you, I can tell you that this is the 1008 millibar isobar here, and this is 1012 millibars. If your barometer measures in inches, that's 29.77 inches and 29.88 inches. And you can see from that the winds are coming from the north. As you know, they go anti-clockwise around the low pressure area, which is sitting out over the North Sea there and going down slowly into the continent. You can see what's causing the weather. It's this strong run of northeasterly winds. The winds less strong in the west, but strongest in northeastern parts of Britain, but temperatures are particularly low, and they're getting some very heavy snow showers over northeastern parts of Scotland. That's the position we expect to see by this time tomorrow. The low having moved away a little bit, and this little ridge of high pressure coming along to give a brighter, less windy and probably slightly warmer day in many central and eastern parts of Britain, but these fronts already spreading some rain, preceded by sleet or snow up into northwestern parts of Britain. Let's put just a little bit of weather on that and see what the conditions are now. Well, the country is fairly cloudy. We are all getting just a little bit of sunshine, but the weather is very showery, and the farther north and east you go, the more wintry the showers become, and we're still getting some rather heavy showers, especially up over the mountains of northern and eastern parts of Scotland. But some snow showers getting right down that eastern coast, right down perhaps even as far as Kent at times. The showers becoming fewer and the sunshine becoming rather more in the west as the day goes on, but a disappointingly cool day, and as you see, very windy up in the north. Tonight, well, many of these showers are going to die away, I think, during the course of the evening, just persisting near some of these eastern and northern coasts there. That does mean a fairly widespread frost almost everywhere, apart from the extreme southwest of Britain having a frost, and that frost is going to be really quite severe because there'll still be a bit of a breeze in the far north and northeast there. Tomorrow, well, a better day, I think, for many of us, but that rain coming across into northwestern Britain, central and eastern Britain, staying dry and fairly bright. Is there any hope, I ask myself, for Monday? Well, there is. More rain, yes, coming along, but the wind's turning more westerly and less cold weather coming along across most of us during Monday and probably Tuesday as well. Well, that's it. Have a very good but rather chilly afternoon.
This afternoon, BBC Two offers, as an alternative to the sport on BBC1, an amiable comedy feature in Saturday cinema. The Russians Are Coming, The Russians Are Coming. That's at 3:10 on BBC Two. This is BBC1, and now at 12:30, Grandstand.
After 733 frames of snooker, the final of the 1985 World Championship is on. Hello, yes, this afternoon the final of the World Snooker Championship gets underway, and Steve Davis is odds-on to win his third title in a row.
I suppose there'll be quite a lot of people saying that I'm red-hot favourite, but I think it's going to be a war out there.
But Davis is up against a man having the time of his life, Dennis Taylor. The match begins at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The best of 35 frames, £60,000 for the eventual winner, $35,000 for the runner-up, and we'll be spending a good part of the afternoon concentrating on that match. Also today, a visit to the dentist. No, don't switch off. It's absolutely pain-free. Here's the story of how the dentist's drill has thrown more than a little light on the squash ball. And it means we'll be looking at squash in a whole new light as we bring you the finals of the British Championships from Wembley. Today we'll see the women and the men over 35. Another British Championship event comes from Crystal Palace. This time it's judo. Neil Adams is among our Olympic stars on show. There's rugby league action with a Premiership trophy tie between St Helens and Widnes at 3:30. One of the Widnes stars is Andy Currier, who's among our top try scorers this season.
Oh, yes, he got the ball to Currier. Where's he going? And he's in. He's still going. Yes, well, what confidence from that youngster.
And the result of our top try competition at 3:25, which could win you a trip to next week's Challenge Cup final at Wembley, if you've entered. And of course, in football, all the major honours will shortly be decided, and as usual, we'll keep you informed on the scorelines and stories of the day. Now, for Chelsea and Spurs, the goal is a UEFA Cup place for next season. Well, they're meeting at Stamford Bridge this morning, where they're back to relying on the atmosphere to create any electricity. Here's Bob.
Yes, just before I give you a rundown on today's focus, let's go straight away to Stamford Bridge, where the past week's arguments about that electric fence has tended to obscure the fact that this week also marks the 80th anniversary of the club. John Motson reporting from Chelsea.
Well, Chelsea hoping to celebrate their 80th anniversary here with a win, and would you believe it, in the very first minute, Kerry Dixon, who many people think should be in the England squad, missed a great opportunity to score his 33rd goal of the season, and it would have been the 100th of his league career, but Dixon shot wide. He was still very cold, I should think, after the chance coming virtually from the kick-off, and after 10 minutes at the other end, Spurs did take the lead. When Tony Galvin's volley was deflected past Eddie Nijveski by a Chelsea defender, I think it may have been John Bumstead. After that, Spurs settled down into that measured away stride of theirs. They haven't lost a league game on an opposing ground since the 20th of October, and they seem so much more comfortable.